Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I'm a resume and writing coach living in beautiful Bogota, Colombia. I'm from the United States, I'm from Boston, and today I have an introduction session for you, free on my website. So it's about creating a dynamic and clean resume for a job application in the United States. Here you have my contact information, my website where there are other free videos, and my email and my WhatsApp. So I will get to the presentation. So how long do you think employers typically spend reading your resume? This is the question that I want to start with. Do you think that it is A, 6 seconds, B, 30 seconds, C, 5 minutes, or D, 10 minutes? So if you have a piece of paper or notebook, write down your response or think about it in your head. So the answer is A, 6 seconds. So this is according to one study by the Ladders. This is an online job search site. Certainly there are other studies with different responses. However, the point is, the answer to the question, how long do employers typically spend reading your resume, is not long. So you want to make sure that your resume is clean and easy to read and also dynamic. And that's the point of the agenda of the full webinar or the workshops that I offer in Bogota. So the agenda addresses what is the purpose of the resume for employers, 5 essential resume writing points, what not to include, 7 common mistakes international applicants make, the importance of revision, a free resource, which is a resume checklist, and then you will be able to review your own resume using the resume checklist. So that's for the full webinar or the in-person workshops. Today, this is an introduction session. We will look at the first 2 points. So what is the purpose of a resume for employers? And then 2 of the 5 essential resume writing points. If you are interested in the full webinar or in-person workshops in Bogota, you can go to my website and click on the workshops and webinars section and see the listings. So, what is the purpose of the resume for employers? Do you think it is A, to determine if they want to hire you, B, to decide if they will interview you, C, to understand your relevant professional skills and experiences in a clear and concise way, or D, to determine if you are lying about your experiences? So think about your answer, write it down, or think about it in your head, and you can choose more than one answer. So the answer is both B and C, to decide if they will interview you and to understand your relevant professional skills and experiences in a clear and concise way. And so a good way to remember this is with the letters RCC. So the point of the resume for employers is so that they can understand your relevant professional skills and experiences in a clear and concise way. And so these letters, RCC, relevant, clear, and concise, are something that is conveyed in the United States through our communication style. So the communication style in the United States is direct, as opposed to some countries where the communication style is more roundabout or indirect. So in general, we speak to the point, we are concise, and we use this style in speaking and in writing, and we also use it for resumes. And then a really important value in the US that also translates over into resume writing is efficiency. So in the United States, we have a fixed notion of time, as opposed to some countries that have a more flexible notion of time. So a common phrase in the United States is time is money. And so this applies to hiring and it applies to resumes. So keep in mind, the communication style, the values in the US, when you're writing your resume. And this means that longer is not more impressive, and the quality of the content is much more important than the length. And I really want to emphasize this point, that the quality of the content is more important than the length. I know in some other countries, the resume style or norm is that longer is better, and that's not the case for a resume in the United States. And this is illustrated by a quote by Steve Jobs here. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. So just keep in mind RCC. So make sure that your resume conveys your relevant professional skills and experiences in a clear and concise way. So now we're going to think a little bit about what questions employers are asking themselves when they review your resume. So 3 important questions are, can you do the job? Can you do the job well? And can you do the job better than other applicants? So when employers are looking at your resume, they are trying to determine if you are qualified, if you're not just qualified, but you will also add value to the team. And so you need to think about what will make you stand out. And you will be able to stand out by using these essential resume writing points. So the 5 essential resume writing points that I will talk about are length, layout, bold sections, word choice, which is a really important one, and then grammar, capitalization, and punctuation. So today we're going to look at the first 2 in the introduction session, length and layout. So for length, the key is to remember RCC, relevant, clear, and concise. So your resume should be between 1 and 3 pages. For recent graduates, 1 page is going to be plenty. If you have several years of work experience, your resume could be 1.5 to 3 pages. If you are going to go onto a second page, make sure it is a 1.5 pages and not just 1 page with a few lines on the second page. For layout, the key is that it is easy for employers to quickly scan your resume and decide if you stand out as qualified and someone who would add value to the organization. So make sure that you have white space, single spacing, and a margin around the edge so that it's easy to read. And then what you'll include at the top is your name, address, cell phone, and email. Your name a little bit bigger and bold than the rest of the information. And it's really important to use a professional email. So for you Game of Thrones fans, don't use winteriscoming@gmail.com. And then for the bold sections, the key is that it is easy for employers to quickly scan your resume and understand your experiences. So we will review sections that all resumes should include, and then optional sections that some resumes will include. And we go into more detail about this point and the rest of the agenda for the full webinar or for the in-person workshops. So if you want to sign up for those, you can go to my website. And if you're interested in personalized resume coaching for careers in the US, this is another service that I have. I use a collaborative approach, and this results in a resume that truly represents you and your experiences and skills. So after this process, you will have the skills and resources needed to update your resume in the future. So there's 3 steps: pre-coaching, a session with a content focus that you and I work together on, and then a grammar and polish, which is me working on your resume. So for pre-coaching, you will attend a workshop or webinar, or I will send you a video session about creating a dynamic and clean resume. I'll send you my resume checklist, a clean resume template, which is a really easy to use resource that you can put your information into, and you can choose to use this or your own. I will send you my dynamic action word chart to help you choose excellent words for your resume to make you stand out. And then you will revise your resume using these resources. Then there is a session with you and me together. This could be a video call with Google Docs or in person if you live in Bogota. You tell me about your career goals and what experiences and skills you want to highlight in your resume. And then I will make suggestions for content improvements, either real-time in Google Docs or in person. And this is a conversation between you and me. And then you can ask me specific questions and we'll make changes. You'll make the changes and send the revised resume to me. And then I will do a grammar edit and polish. This is just by email, so I'll review for grammar. And then the polish is like making suggested changes for optimal word choice or maybe formatting. So if you're interested in any of these services, you can email me or contact me via my website. And thanks so much for attending this introduction session.